Hi, this is the Escapist Gaming Dad, and today we're having a look at the game called Xeno Galaxies. Game is a bit of a loose term at this stage. It's in super early development and there is no gameplay. It's purely just a construction kit at the moment. Now you have to excuse if there's any editing issues with this. I'm not really up with editing of video at this stage, so this is going to be a bit rough and raw, but that actually fits the game sort of style, because Inomi, as you can see down in the bottom right corner, is he's actually the lead person, to my understanding, and he's put together this construction kit for Xeno Galaxies, which is his upcoming indie game that he's putting together. Now, as you can see, it's got a bit of a blocky look to it. It's going to be a sci-fi, spacefaring, role-playing game that that has elements of some of those familiar games where you do mining, you do some crafting using a tech tree, and you're going to be able to interact with different objects, and from the equipment that you craft, you're able to build spaceships which you're then able to fly to different planets or to different asteroids, and then you're able to land. This, however, is expected to be a pretty full-fledged RPG, so there's going to be plenty of AI in there, so NPCs that are going to be giving missions or possibly even tagging along. You might have to help a trade route get through. Who knows? These are just ideas that have been popped around on the forum. And been hinted at by Inomi, and I've got to be honest, that all sounds awesome to me. I love role-playing games. I love the crafting and that element of things like Minecraft and Sky Nations and stuff like that, and I love the ability to build and customize. That's good fun. I've actually spent a few hours on the creation kit. This is, as you'll see in this bottom corner here, this is iteration or version number 002. I played with version number 001. A few limitations in that. There's still some limitations in this one, but hey, look, it is super early, and I repeat, no gameplay. It's purely just a build kit at the moment, and only has limited number of textures. We've got some hull, we've got some cushions, some wires, a whole bunch of different computery things, some stony looking stuff, some lights, some weird plasma-y stuff, some clear textures, all just to get a feel for it. So more textures and refinement of each texture is going to come through. Now, at the moment we're flying around in creative mode, so we can use shift to speed up, Q to go up, Z to go down. Space would jump. If we push P and drop into player mode, we can walk around, space jumps us. We can't actually interact with anything at this stage. So if I come over to here and I click on stuff, absolutely nothing happens. That's not even implemented. It is very early development. Let's push P to get back out of there. Now F1 will give you help. That'll show you exactly what's going on, and F1 will not take you out of it at this stage. You just got to press escape. So we've got a settings button up here. I've taken off the ambient sort of obscuration. I'll put it back on. It sometimes looks better, sometimes doesn't. So shadows, so this helps just if your computer is struggling with it at all. So we just click up here. This turns it into that player mode that I showed you. We've got this to clear everything. Oh, thank you. This here is where you pick a file to replace the whole platform. Now, if you've got more than the number of files there, I figured out that you just scroll up and down using the right mouse button, which looks as well. I'm sure that'll change over time. This here allows you to add, so you just want to add a single engine. So you built part of your ship. You've got a few components laying around. You can add a single engine, or you can add a bunch of pipes. You want to stick them, whoa, sorry about that. You want to stick them right there, and there we go. So you can do all that sort of stuff. Now B is to undo. It's got a reasonable memory, so you can undo quite a bit of what's going on. Escape will cancel any tools, and your lovely 1984 Amiga 3.5-inch floppy, those were the days. That obviously allows you to save it, so we're not going to worry about that right now. Now down the bottom you've got a number of different tools or different block shapes. You've got your nice square, which you can then push plus to increase its size, and it will create nice massive cubes of whatever dimensions that you desire. They can get pretty massive, so it really just depends on what on earth you would want a huge block like that for, but hey, good luck, it's there. And obviously minus brings it all back down into a manageable level, and you can just flip around different textures. We've got a nice let's bring that down to a single. We've got a nice sort of wedge there. Now to rotate wedges, you push the R button, and that gives you all your different directions there. And again, this one here, nice underscore wedge. This one we've got a nice little flat panel that you can use to just sort of, say you want to put a keypad on this highly secure cargo, so that allows you just to do that. Now we've got a little corner angle here as well, that creates some useful tools. Now this one I haven't been able to get to work. I assume it's an even flatter face panel, but nothing seems to happen when we use it. I'm sure that'll change. But then we've also got a nice slimline panel there, and super small, which is really good for something like an aerial or a window frame or something like that. So you can add those textures on. That makes it quite easy indeed. So that's a very quick look at the placing of blocks. Now if we go into the other tools, we've got the removal of blocks coming through back over here. We can just click on these blocks and remove them out as you would normally expect. Sometimes clicking on the wedges can be a bit funny depending if you don't get the right angle. If you ever get stuck with that, just get to the corner and you'll fix that up. We've got a transfer or a swap change there. Let's put that one in. I don't find that super useful. Better to press the control button. That seems to work a lot more efficiently, and just goes in through there. So I did say B is undo, so you don't like all these changes, bring it back, and Y is redo. So that's pretty useful. Clicking on add blocks and then on grid will allow you to create a grid in pretty much whatever dimensions you choose. It gets a little bit funny in dealing with, so it's always good to have like a frame to work from, unless you're working on a straight plate. So if you wanted to, okay, there is a bit of a bug where every now and again it just sort of pops out. Sometimes it creates a tic-tac-toe grid, sometimes it just sort of breaks up what you've got. Fine, pressing B clears it and it goes away. Inomi's looking into that one, so I'm sure he'll get on top of it. But to use the grid really easily to come up heights, you come over where you want it to, and then you drag it up, and there we go. We've got a nice big fat block there that we can do something with. We can then hollow it out one block at a time, or if you use the grid button after you press hollowing, you can actually hollow it out in a grid form, which makes it a lot quicker. Just to create a nice sort of little cubby hole of some description. Now if we add blocks again, we've got the line tool, which allows you to pull lines across, allows you to pull them out. Again, it helps to have a defined starting point. So if you're wanting to do lines sort of in the middle height, it really helps if you, yep, here's that tic-tac-toe bug again. We just push B a couple of times, that goes away, and we're back at it. So if you just want a line coming out through here to connect up to there, really helps to have a connection point to actually link onto, otherwise you get some pretty weird looking stuff. And then you can, if need be, just quickly knock off what you don't really want there, and you've got yourself a nice straight beam. So yeah, so that's pretty straightforward. The lines create in sort of straight and slight sort of variation stepwise, which makes it easy for making steps and stairs. If you get things set up properly, you can sort of come in like this, and then you can bring it up there, and there you go, you've got your nice stairs. So, and you can quickly turn that into a ramp using the rotational situation there. So now you've got a very nice smooth edge to do your ship, and then you can even scroll that in. So that, it is very useful, even the jagged edges. One thing I do find is if you do sort of click on the block, even if you've got this texture selected, click on that, you'll actually get a square, although that it's selected as a different one. I have to bring that up to him as a bug. I'm sure he knows about it, and I'm sure it'll get done, but not his top priority. He's got a lot to do. He's got a massively ambitious game, but definitely achievable, I reckon. So what have we gotten through? Okay, we've gotten through the line. Now we've got the mysterious mirror. Mysterious mirror, I call it mysterious because it's a little bit unpredictable, but what it seems to do is copy anything on the right hand side within a certain distance. So when it works, we can select here. Okay, now it's made a liar of me. Now it's selecting on the left hand side. Anyway, that's okay. This is, like I said, this is early alpha, and I'm sure that the tool will be tightened up over time. And yeah, so anyway, that takes a little bit more work. We've got the magic wand, which allows us to pick up a whole object. You can then rotate it around. So if you've made a nice little wing and you want them to match up. Now there is not yet a flip option that I'm aware of, so you can't sort of completely flip it over and have it the exact same way, which would probably be pretty useful. Like if you're making a wing, you don't want them to be the facing opposite directions. So, but escape to cancel that one out. We've got a block replace tool, so if you want to replace all the glass, say you want to replace all the glass, let's select the glass. Okay, how about we replace the hulls with this stony stuff. You can give it a random orientation, which will muck up your orientations, or leave it, and there we go, everything in the game gets turned into that nice sort of smooth stony looking thing, anything that's hull. So I'm not sure if that has the ability to sort of only do it on a selection. There's also going to, if not already, be the ability to select using the magic wand pretty much the whole object, including all the different textures that are on it. So, but anyway, I haven't figured that one out. We'll see what Anomi comes back with that. And the lights, be careful how you use them, because if you've got a lot in there, it will change the game or the construction kit's performance, drop it down quite a lot. And I haven't figured out how to turn it off. Doesn't seem to work. Maybe if I click minus and then there, nope. So yeah, so there's definitely a lot of small things there. So that's all right. Down the bottom here is your painting textures. As it says here, you can use it to replace either don't replace the shape, or don't replace the texture, or don't change the rotation. So with all of that, that's applying the rotation, the texture and the block shape. I find that is a little bit touch and go, so not 100% sure. But anyway, that's a quick look. We've got some a captain's table, we've got some consoles, a door panel, a big view screen looking thing, taking that as being either a hibernation or a hypersleep chamber or just a shower. Who knows? These are what Xenomi sort of does for his engines, or engines, power, warp core type things. I think they look alright. So I'll probably use something like that as well. So yeah, so that is an initial look at the actual general features of the construction kit. I will make another video showing some of the build, and I'll upload that accordingly. So anyway, once again, this is Xeno Galaxies, a very early development game. This is not the game itself, this is just a construction kit to have some fun with and create some content that we can upload, and Xenomi is going to aim to put that into the actual game itself, and make it so that you can share content with other players, and that'll automatically be able to be put into the actual game. Now, this is initially planned only solo player. We're hoping that multiplayer will come along, but it'll probably be down the track, or depending on what happens with the Kickstarter, because networking multiplayer type stuff is something that takes a lot more time and effort. So he's going to definitely focus on a solo player, good experience, and hopefully add in some multiplayer and cooperative play along the way. And so yeah, so once again, this is just the construction kit. We can upload some stuff for Xenomi to test how it all works, and head over to XenoGalaxies.com, read the posts, look at the forums, join up, download your own construction kit, make some things, and put it on there if that's what you like. So anyway, this is Escapist Gaming Dad signing off for tonight, and we'll have a look at more construction at another time. Thank you for listening.